Her name was Helen, 81 years old, a retired piano teacher from Michigan. When she walked into my office, I noticed she moved slowly, carefully, as if every joint in her body had turned into fragile glass. She smiled gently, but I could see it in her eyes, exhaustion, pain, and that quiet fear that maybe her best days were already behind her. She told me I don't want to live in pain. I just want to feel strong enough to walk to my garden again. As a doctor, moments like these stay with you. And instead of reaching for my prescription pad, I reached for something far simpler. A way of eating. Something I learned during my years observing elder health in Japan. Let's try something small, I told her. Let's start with a spoonful of yogurt, but not just any yogurt. Let's make it the Japanese way. 4 small changes, 4 healing yogurts. That's all it took to help her feel hope again. And today, I want to share these same yogurts with you because arthritis, pain, muscle loss, and fatigue don't have to define your life after 60. Before we begin, I'd love to know, where are you watching this from, and what time is it for you right now? Please let me know in the comments below. I truly look forward to reading them. And don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss what's coming next. Why Japanese seniors rarely suffer from arthritis or muscle loss. Whenever I travel to Japan, especially to small towns and quiet villages, there's one thing I always notice: the elderly there don't walk like they're in pain. Even in their 70s or 80s, they stand tall, move with ease, and carry their groceries home without needing help. You can see them tending to gardens, sweeping sidewalks, or simply sitting outside in the morning sun, calm, present, and strong in their own way. And it always made me ask why. As a doctor, I used to think the difference was mostly genetics. But after years of observation and research, I've come to believe the real secret lies in their daily lifestyle, especially their approach to food. In Japan, eating is not just about nutrition. It's a philosophy, even a form of medicine. They call it shokuiku, a word that means food education, or learning how to eat in a way that keeps the body in balance and prevents disease before it starts. One of the most powerful parts of this philosophy is their regular use of fermented foods. From miso soup in the morning to pickled vegetables with lunch and yogurt with probiotics at night, these foods are gentle on the stomach and powerful against inflammation. Unlike many Western diets which focus on heavy proteins or sugars, the Japanese way emphasizes natural balance, sour-sweet umami, and most importantly, foods that heal, not just fill. When we look at arthritis and age-related muscle loss, one of the root causes is chronic silent inflammation. This kind of low-grade inflammation builds up slowly, often unnoticed, until one day your knees ache, your hands stiffen, or you wake up feeling weak. What the Japanese diet does so well is fight that process gently and consistently every single day. So when Helen came to me asking for a better way to manage her pain, I didn't just think of medicine. I thought of shokuiku. And I thought of yogurt, simple daily healing. But not the kind packed with sugar or artificial flavors. The kind that aligns with how the Japanese eat: whole, thoughtful, and filled with quiet strength. Let's take a closer look at the 4 yogurts inspired by this tradition that can help you do just the same. Miso yogurt, a Japanese probiotic duo that fights inflammation. Miso and yogurt, 2 fermented powerhouses from different parts of the world. But in Japan, especially among the elderly, these 2 are often combined into one gentle healing food. When I first saw a 78-year-old man in Nagano mixing a spoonful of white miso into his morning yogurt, I was surprised. He smiled, offered me a bowl, and said, "This keeps my joints from locking up." I remember the warmth in his eyes as he sat cross-legged on a tatami mat, moving with a lightness that defied his age. Scientifically, there's something very real behind this practice. Yogurt contains live bacteria like lactobacillus and bifidobacterium that support gut health, strengthen the immune system, and influence inflammation in the body. Miso made from fermented soybeans, salt, and koji mold adds another layer of benefits. It contains beneficial microbes, antioxidants, and amino acids that help reduce the cytokines responsible for joint swelling and pain. When eaten together, these two ingredients create what I call a probiotic duet, a powerful yet natural defense against chronic inflammation. For older adults struggling with osteoarthritis, especially those with stiff hands in the morning or knees that feel swollen after walking, miso yogurt offers a calming anti-inflammatory boost without the digestive side effects of common medications. Instead of masking the symptoms, it helps support the body's natural ability to calm them down. What's remarkable is how simple it is. You don't need to cook or prepare anything complicated. Just take half a cup of plain, unsweetened yogurt. Greek yogurt works well because of its thickness and protein content, and gently stir in half a teaspoon of white or yellow miso. Avoid red miso, which is too strong and salty for this purpose. Let it sit for a minute, allowing the enzymes and cultures to activate. Then, eat slowly, even mindfully. The flavor is earthy and savory with a creamy, tangy note. It might surprise your palate at first, especially if you're used to sweet yogurts, but give it a chance. After a few days, many people begin to crave it, not just for the taste, but for how it makes them feel. Helen. My patient was hesitant at first. She wrinkled her nose and said, "Miso, in yogurt," but we gave it a try. I suggested she add just a drizzle of honey the first few times to make the transition easier. Within 2 weeks, she reported waking up with less stiffness in her fingers. "I can finally open my bedroom window again," she told me one morning, laughing like a child discovering something new. Her energy shifted. She started asking more questions about Japanese foods, and even bought a bamboo spoon because it felt more right when eating this new breakfast. Culturally, the Japanese don't view food merely as fuel. They view it as relationship between the eater and the earth, the cook and the family, the body and the spirit. A small bowl of miso yogurt eaten slowly while sitting in sunlight isn't just nutrition. It's a ritual of returning to balance. If you suffer from daily aches, if arthritis has made you afraid of the mornings, or if your muscles feel like they've forgotten their strength, starting your day with this small healing habit could be a turning point. It's not about replacing your treatments, but about supporting them, nourishing your body in a way that is gentle, natural, and deeply rooted in a culture known for graceful aging. And now let's move to another surprising blend, the richness of black sesame, and how it supports not just your joints, but your bones and muscles too. Black sesame yogurt, the calcium-rich brain and bone booster. In the quiet mornings of Okinawa, you'll often find elders sipping warm tea and enjoying small bowls of black sesame yogurt. It's a tradition not often talked about in textbooks, but if you ask the people who live there, especially the women in their 80s and 90s who still walk to the market and tend their gardens, they'll tell you, "We've always eaten black sesame for our bones, and it helps us stay sharp too." Black sesame is one of Japan's most treasured traditional foods. It's deeply rooted in ancient Eastern medicine, where it's believed to strengthen the kidneys, support brain function, and slow the aging of the skin and bones. From a modern nutritional perspective, black sesame seeds are packed with calcium, magnesium, zinc, and healthy fats, all essential for maintaining bone density and muscle strength, especially in later life. When these nutrients are combined with yogurt's high protein and probiotics, it becomes a complete package fuel for both strength and stability. But there's more to it than nutrients. Black sesame is also rich in compounds called lignans, particularly sesamin and sesamolin, which have powerful antioxidant and anti-inflammatory properties. These compounds help fight oxidative stress, one of the underlying drivers of aging joint pain and even cognitive decline. For people over 60 whose bodies naturally produce less collagen and whose joints endure decades of wear, this combination offers both prevention and repair. Making it is simple and elegant. Toast the black sesame seeds lightly in a dry pan until fragrant. This awakens their oils and enhances the flavor. Let them cool, then grind them into a fine powder using a mortar and pestle or spice grinder. Mix 1 or 2 teaspoons of this powder into plain yogurt. Some prefer to add a touch of raw honey or a slice of banana for sweetness and extra potassium. The result is a creamy, nutty, slightly earthy bowl that feels indulgent and comforting without being heavy. One of my patients, Mr. Lewis, a 69-year-old retired carpenter, had been struggling with brittle bones and early signs of osteoporosis. He was skeptical at first. "I don't do seeds," he joked. But after his wife introduced this yogurt into his morning routine, he noticed fewer cramps in his calves and less pain in his lower back. Within 6 months, his DEXA scan showed a halt in bone loss, and for the first time in years he said, "I feel like I'm building back up, and it's not just the body that benefits." Black sesame has long been considered a brain food in Japanese tradition. Many older adults in Japan believe it helps with memory, mental clarity, and even mood. While research is still emerging, the presence of healthy fats, vitamin E, and anti-inflammatory agents certainly supports this belief. When paired with the probiotics in yogurt, which also affect gut-brain communication, it creates a gentle mental boost that many describe as clear-headed calm. There's something deeply satisfying about starting your day with this simple dish. It's humble, yet it carries centuries of wisdom. It's easy to make yet powerful in what it offers nourishment for your bones, muscles, and mind. In Japan, the act of grinding sesame by hand is even seen as meditative. Each morning becomes more than just a routine. It becomes a ritual of care. Amazaki yogurt, the fermented rice elixir for muscle recovery and gut health. In the heart of a small mountain village near Takayama, I once shared a breakfast with a woman named Kayo. She was 87 years old, her posture straight as a bamboo stalk, and her energy remarkably youthful. As we sat by her low wooden table, she served me something warm and slightly sweet amazake, a traditional fermented rice drink that smelled faintly of sake but contained no alcohol. "I drink this every morning," she said with a smile, "and I add a little yogurt to keep my stomach young." Amazake means sweet sake, but it's entirely non-alcoholic when made properly for health. It's created by fermenting cooked rice with koji, the same mold used to make miso and soy sauce. The result is a naturally sweet, creamy mixture full of active enzymes, B vitamins, and simple sugars that are easy to digest. When you blend amazake with plain yogurt, you get a powerful combination of probiotics and prebiotics, what scientists call a symbiotic food. It doesn't just support digestion, it helps build a healthier, more resilient gut microbiome, which in turn boosts immunity and reduces inflammation throughout the body. But one of amazake's most underappreciated benefits lies in muscle recovery. For people over 60, muscle loss, called sarcopenia, is a silent thief. It creeps in slowly, making it harder to walk, lift groceries, or even rise from a chair. Amazake provides natural glucose to gently refuel muscles without spiking blood sugar, and its enzymes help the body better absorb protein from yogurt. That's why many elderly Japanese, especially those living in rural areas, combine the two for a post-walk or post-gardening snack. It's their quiet recovery drink. What I find beautiful about this tradition is how intuitive it is. There are no labels, no fitness trackers, no expensive supplements, just knowledge passed down through generations. You feel tired. You feed the body something warm, light, and alive. You don't force strength back into the body, you invite it gently to return. To prepare amazake yogurt at home, you can use store-bought amazake, look for unsweetened pasteurized versions, or make it yourself by mixing rice and koji and letting it ferment overnight in a rice cooker or yogurt maker. Then stir about 2 tablespoons into half a cup of yogurt. Some enjoy it warm, others chilled. Either way, the taste is mild with a pleasant sweetness that makes it feel like a treat rather than a remedy. One of my American patients, Jeanette, who had struggled for years with post-exercise fatigue and bloating, began incorporating amazake yogurt into her evening snack. Within a month, she felt lighter after meals and more energized in the mornings. "It feels like my stomach finally stopped fighting me," she said. That small shift gave her the confidence to return to her Tai Chi class after a 2-year break. In Japan, they say the gut is the second brain, not just a place for digestion, but the root of mood, energy, and vitality. Amazake yogurt in this light becomes more than food. It's a gentle message to the body: you are safe, you are nourished, you are allowed to heal. Matcha yogurt, the green tea, powerhouse for joint recovery and mental clarity. There's a certain peace that comes with the Japanese tea ceremony, slow, intentional, almost meditative. It's not just about drinking tea, it's about presence balance and deep respect for the moment. That same philosophy can be brought into something as simple as a bowl of yogurt when you stir in matcha, the finely ground powder of shade-grown green tea leaves. Matcha has been used in Japan for centuries, not only as a drink, but as a quiet remedy. It contains a powerful antioxidant called EGCG epigallocatechin galata, which helps reduce inflammation, improve circulation, and protect the joints from oxidative damage. For older adults dealing with arthritis or stiffness, this means better joint function, less swelling, and more freedom of movement over time. But the beauty of matcha doesn't stop at the joints, it also touches the mind. Unlike regular green tea, matcha is rich in L-theanine, an amino acid known for its calming effect. It doesn't make you drowsy. It helps you feel focused and mentally clear without the jitteriness that comes with coffee. When combined with yogurt, especially Greek yogurt rich in protein, it becomes a gentle but powerful support system, soothing the joints, fueling the muscles, and sharpening the mind. Making matcha yogurt is simple. Start with plain yogurt. Add 1 far 4 to 1 tar 2 teaspoon of high-quality matcha powder. Stir well until it turns a soft green. You can sweeten it naturally with a bit of honey or a few slices of fresh pear, which complements matcha's earthy, slightly bitter notes. Many older Japanese enjoy this in the mid-morning or early afternoon, often after a light walk or stretching session. It's their way of resetting the body and mind, light, clean, and deeply grounding. One story I often recall is of Dr. Nakamura, a retired orthopedic surgeon in Tokyo. In his late 70s, he still volunteered twice a week and practiced yoga daily. He shared that he started each day with matcha yogurt and a slow breathing ritual. "My joints are not perfect," he said, "but they move without fear. That's enough for me." For Western seniors, who may be used to sugary flavored yogurts or energy drinks, this might feel unfamiliar at first. But many who try it report a sense of calm energy, improved focus, and even fewer afternoon crashes. The synergy between matcha's antioxidants and yogurt's gut-friendly bacteria supports not just inflammation, but also blood sugar regulation and mood stability. There's also something beautiful about the color itself. That soft green reminds you of moss-covered gardens, bamboo forests, and quiet Kyoto mornings. Eating matcha yogurt can be more than a health habit. It can become a ritual of mindfulness, a pause in your day where nourishment and serenity meet. Why seniors in America should eat yogurt. The Japanese way. In the United States, yogurt is often sold as a snack, quick, sweet, convenient. It's filled with fruit syrups flavored with vanilla or chocolate and stacked high on supermarket shelves in colorful packaging. But what many don't realize is that these popular versions are often stripped of what makes yogurt truly healing. They're overloaded with sugar low in real probiotics and designed more for dessert than digestion. Now compare that to Japan, where yogurt is eaten differently, quietly, simply, and often as part of a healing routine. It isn't meant to be flashy, it's meant to serve the body. In Japan, people add real ingredients to yogurt: fermented miso, freshly ground sesame powdered matcha, or amazake made from rice and koji. Each of these additions isn't just about flavor. They bring natural compounds that reduce inflammation, strengthen bones, calm the nervous system, and gently support aging muscles. And that's the key: supporting aging, not fighting it. In Western culture, aging is often treated like a battle, something to resist, reverse, or deny. But in Japan, aging is seen as something to move with, to respect, and to nourish. Food becomes a daily act of quiet strength, not just a quick fix. When I work with American seniors struggling with arthritis, fatigue, or muscle loss, I often ask them not to change everything, but to start with one small shift: rethinking their yogurt. Not as a sugary cup from the fridge door, but as a tool, something living, something gentle, something sacred in its simplicity. I've seen powerful transformations begin with just that. People who thought they had to live with constant joint pain begin to feel a lightness again. Patients who were losing confidence in their bodies begin to rebuild, not overnight, but day by day, spoon by spoon. And perhaps most important of all, they begin to feel more in control of their health again, not because they did something extreme, but because they chose to slow down, to listen, and to eat with intention. So ask yourself, how are you eating your yogurt? Is it just filling space, or is it offering something back to you? You don't have to fly to Japan to eat like the Japanese. You just need to bring their quiet wisdom into your kitchen. How to make Japanese yogurt habits. A simple daily routine. Building a new habit doesn't have to be complicated. In fact, the simpler it is, the more likely it is to stay. That's exactly why the Japanese way of eating yogurt works so well. It's built on quiet repetition, not drastic change. Start by choosing a time that feels peaceful. Maybe it's early morning before the house wakes up, or late evening when the world slows down. Keep your ingredients simple and ready. Store plain yogurt in your fridge and keep small jars of miso, ground black sesame matcha, or amazake nearby. You don't need all four at once. Just pick one to begin with. You can even prepare 3 small containers in advance, each with a different topping, and keep them ready for the next 3 days. That way, your choice becomes effortless. No stress, no confusion. Just reach open and enjoy. Use a spoon you love. Sit somewhere quiet. Take a breath before the first bite. These small details matter. In Japan, food is not rushed, it's honored. Over time, this isn't just about yogurt. It's about building trust with your body again. Let each bite be a gentle message: I'm here, I'm healing, I'm taking care. And once you feel the difference, you'll no longer need reminders. Your body will ask for it quietly but clearly. So here we are, 4 simple yogurts, each one rooted in tradition, backed by science, and shaped by the quiet wisdom of Japanese elders. You don't need to move to Japan to benefit from their way of living. You just need to slow down, listen to your body, and start small. A spoon of yogurt in the morning, a mindful pause before eating, a new rhythm of care. If you've been living with arthritis, muscle loss, or simply feeling disconnected from your body, this is your invitation to begin again, not with pressure, not with perfection, but with kindness. And I'd love to hear from you. If you try any of these yogurts, tell me how it feels. What changed? What surprised you? Until then, stay gentle with yourself. Stay curious. And remember, healing doesn't always look dramatic. Sometimes it's just one quiet spoon at a time. Disclaimer: health-related information on YouTube may not apply to everyone and is not medical advice. Please consult your doctor or hospital for any personal concerns. If you believe you have a medical emergency, contact your physician or call 911 immediately.